Welcome back to Mickey Car Beauty, and my name is Mickey or Michelle, but it's short for Mickey for my friends. And today I just finished getting all of the remaining Lisa Eldridge 2021 Velvet lipsticks. So I did part one where I got most of the lipstick products, and I'm finishing up this video today with the remaining of her 3 new Velvet lipsticks. So Petal, Intrigue, and Blush Lightly. And I have, do you know which one I have on my lips? So if you want to find out, then you'll have to keep watching. But definitely my second favorite of the haul. And if you're interested in seeing Cinnabar, I'll link it up below so that you can see that review of what Cinnabar looked like, along with the other Lisa Eldridge products that I picked up. So keep watching. Be opening up the medium 2 card and then doing face swatches. We'll start with primer again, just like we did in part 1. This is my Holy Grail primer. It's the Sisley Double Tinsure Primer. I still have some residual allergy and redness going on, but it doesn't seem as bad as yesterday. So I only have skincare down, and now I just put the primer on. I have cards medium 1 and medium 2. So we'll start with medium set 1, number 21, medium with neutral red undertones. I'll put a little bit more. That's 21. This is 22, medium with neutral undertones. This is 23 with medium golden olive undertones. 24 is medium with terracotta undertones. Okay, so medium set 2, medium, all with, these are all medium, neutral red undertones, neutral undertones, golden olive undertones, and then terracotta undertones. I can tell already these 2, probably not, but it's fair game for these 2, depending how these dry down. Even 21 could work. Okay, we'll go with medium set 1 over here. And I'm going in with 17 right here. 17. This is 18. Okay, this is 19. And this is 20, medium with rosy red undertones. Okay, medium 17, medium with golden olive undertones. 18, medium with golden undertones. 19, medium with neutral undertones. And 20, medium with rosy red undertones. So I'm gonna get up close so you can see. And it's interesting today, yesterday 17 and 18 worked best for me, but I'm looking at this today that 17, both were indiscernible towards the end, but this looks a little bit warmer today, and it could be this too, or it could even be this or this. So 21 is in the medium 2 card, and it's a medium with neutral red undertones. So I can see the neutral part, and maybe they mean by that it's a little bit more peachy. I think this is too warm. As you can see, it's starting to dry down. And it's interesting that I tried 17 and 18 yesterday, and it looks great on camera. And for the filming, I had no complaints about it. What I just think is interesting is that I think it almost dried down too light, and I could get away with that. So this is the foundation with studio lighting. I have like a big softy lighting that I put right over my phone. So again, this is 21, 22, 23, 24. I already ruled those 2 out. 21 might be a little bit too pink, and that it looks like I'm wearing foundation, but it's hard to say until I put it on my face. This might actually be my summer shade. So 17 is drying down pretty light, and it could be that it's this foundation here. 19 with medium neutral undertones. But when I looked back at the video yesterday, I thought it looked really nice, and I think I looked kind of pale. And I did warm up my skin to match. So that also is a trick that a lot of us do, is that we just try to find the closest we can, and then we warm up our skin with our tools like bronzer and contour. And I certainly could do that. I thought 17 or 18 both looked beautiful. Okay, I've taken off the swatches of medium 2 and medium 1 set, and we're going to try color medium 19 today. And then in another video that if you want to follow me, I'll let you know, I'm going to try medium 21 another day. Okay, so we're going into 19 all over my face. And I always just start with one side first, just to see. I would say that more of my redness you can see. And that would make sense because I think the other two were, 17 was much lighter and 18 had a warm undertone. So it did a nicer job of covering up my redness, where this is just more a neutral color. And let me put a studio light just so you can see for comparison. Okay, so that's my skin with some studio light. Not bad. I think I might go in just do some spot areas where there's redness and blemishes. And so with this foundation, it's definitely not going to cover up any acne or hyperpigmentation. Just know that it's a pretty natural wearing foundation and it's supposed to self-set. Not bad. Okay, so I am back. It's about 45 minutes later after I put this medium 19 on my skin. I have not powdered it down. I've only added eye makeup, concealer, and powder under my eyes and left the rest of my face alone. I will say that I really love how it dries down. It is supposed to be self-setting, and I can see what she means. I mean, there's a little bit of tack, but it doesn't feel sticky, if that makes sense. I still think if I were to put down product in addition to the foundation, I would probably still put a layer of powder on it just so that the additional product would lay down really nicely. But so far I'm liking it. So I ended up, while I was waiting for this foundation to dry, I was filming another review, and I'll link it up above here. So if you're interested to know what eyeshadow and what eye products I'm using, I'll link it above so you can check it out, or it'll be in the description box. But why don't we go ahead and finish up with the rest of the order that came in from Lisa Eldridge. So she launched 2 new lip glosses, 4 new velvet lipsticks, and I didn't get a chance to photograph these today, and I'll go in lightly, but just I have really bad lighting today because it's dark and it's overcast and it's raining. So what's going to be different in this review compared to the first review is that I'm actually using some studio lighting on my phone. So that's the difference you're gonna see. So the first one that I'm going to swatch is Velvet Petal. So it's a really pinky color. Not usually in my wheelhouse, but we're gonna try it today and see. But it is really beautiful. And I think it looks worse when I do that with my hand. There we go. So that's a really, it's not as pinky when I do this, but if I do this alone, it's actually not the correct color. So this is actually the true color of the lipstick. And we'll do a swatch of that. Are not delicate with how you apply it, it might fall apart. That's a really pretty pink. I think that would be great for summer and spring. The next one is Velvet Intrigue, which is, I think, the lighter version of Fawn. And what I'll do is after this, I'll compare it to Fawn. So this is Velvet Intrigue. I'll take it. I'll bring it closer so you can see. So you can see less pink in it. It's a little bit more neutral. And the next one is Velvet Blush Lightly. Velvet Blush Lightly. And this is the lighter version of the blush color. So, and I'll show it to you quickly. So this is Velvet Blush Lightly, and this is Velvet Blush. So you can see, she said this one was like lighter. The new one is a lighter version of the regular blush color. Show you the difference between Fawn and Intrigue. So this is Velvet Fawn, and this is Velvet Intrigue. I'm sorry. This is Intrigue, and this is Velvet Fawn. Very similar, but let's see if I put my hand behind here. So you can see a slight difference. Velvet Intrigue is a little bit lighter. Velvet Fawn is a little bit deeper. There we go. So this is Velvet Blush Lightly, and I'll swatch that. So this is more like, in my skin tone, it's like more of a bubble gum spring pink. This is like a light pink with purple mauve undertones. And this is more of a light blush. Essentially, it has more blue, purple undertones in it. So, and then the last one that she came in, of course, was in the first Lisa Eldridge review that I did, which I'll pop up at the top here. And this is, again, this is Cinnabar. And it just reminds me of the lipstick colors I used back when I was in high school and in college. It's like this really beautiful brick red with a little bit of orange in there, orange rust. So when we start with Petal, I'm going to use the Lancome lip liner in 290 Sheer Raspberry and just use it very lightly. Okay. So I don't want to fill it in because this is not a Lisa Eldridge lip liner, and I'm just using it to soften up and even out the pigmentation under. So again, I'm going into Velvet Petal. Let's see how that works. Velvet Petal. Definitely out of my comfort zone. Definitely not a pink I wear normally. And I'm wearing an eyeshadow that might be not matching it very well. I should have picked something a little more neutral. But what are you gonna do? So Velvet Petal. I think if I were wearing the right color of like a spring dress, maybe like a cream or a pinky top, and then like a more neutral eye look, this could work better. I don't have anything like this, and it's definitely out of my comfort zone. I'm wondering what will happen if I add a little bit of gloss, and it's a little bit too pink for me. So what I would do, and this is why I've been using Velvet Affair so much, I think it's like one of those magic lip glosses that look great alone or on top of like a brownie nude lipstick, but it also can kind of just chill out a color that might be too bright. So I didn't want to contaminate the rest of the product. So I just put it on my finger and see how this can change up the look too. Yeah, I like that a little bit better, definitely. Made it like less bubblegum pinky. And then what I sometimes do is I will blot it. There you go. So I combine Velvet Petal with a fair lip gloss. This is why I have two of the Affair lip glosses, because I use this all the time and just cocktail a lot of my lipsticks. Okay, so next up we're gonna try Velvet Intrigue, which is this one. And I had a hard time figuring out which liner might work with it. You might just go ahead with Affair and kind of hope for the best on that. Okay, Velvet Intrigue. So Velvet Intrigue. Definitely too light for my skin tone. It just almost just like, it's not quite a concealer look. And it could be that I don't have the best liner on. I'm wondering if it might look a little better with a brown liner. Let's try that. I'm going to take Decade liner and see how that might change up this look. Okay, it looks a little bit better, and I'm trying to smudge it in so it kind of blends a little bit better. There you go. I don't know. I have to be honest. I don't know if this color is for me. It's not my favorite. So I'm gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna take the Affair gloss and see what happens. What I'm gonna do is swatch Velvet Fawn next to it so you can see. So this is Intrigue and this is Fawn. And I'm gonna, let's see if I can do it under, I'll do it right here. Oops, right next to it. So let's try Velvet Fawn. And I wanna see if I'm gonna do this without any lip liner. So Velvet Fawn. Velvet Fawn. I think it looks a little better for my warm olive skin tone, but again, it's that concealer look that if I were to pick one, Intrigue or Fawn for my skin tone, I would definitely pick Fawn. Let's see what happens when I smudge in some Decade lip liner. I do think that's a little bit better. Again, it's just whether or not people like that look. And maybe it's because I think it makes me look too pale. You let me know. I mean, you know, everyone has their preferences on what they like and don't like. This is like, you're wearing the wrong color, or it looks great, or it looks terrible, you're right. I don't think it looks terrible. It's just like it's a look whether or not I prefer it or not. So if I were wearing a dramatic matte eye look of flat matte and like sculpted uniform look, that would work. But if I were to pick one of those like kind of nudie concealer, nude colors, I would definitely pick Velvet Fawn over Intrigue. So I hope that helps. So you can see it how it's looking on me. And let me see. So I'm getting a little bit more light now. So let me turn off my studio light to see if it gets any better. Okay, great. So I took off the studio light. I hope that helps because I think it was washing out a lot of the natural color, and that's why I really tried to film in natural light. So you can see now what it looks like without studio light, natural. So I actually think it looks prettier without that studio light. So interesting. I mean, that studio light was throwing me off and I was like, nope, I don't like both of them. But now I can see it definitely like the Velvet Fawn much more than Intrigue. I'm not completely, I might go back and try this again. Again, I noticed like it could be better that it's in a bright sunny day. That might look nice, but definitely Velvet Fawn is looking pretty without the studio light. So, and a brown liner. I used the brown liner, which is the Decade liner from Lisa Eldridge. So Velvet Fawn. And again, that wasn't new for part of the release. Intrigue was, but it gives you an idea of how this is gonna wear. Oh, you know what I do and I'm gonna do this because I did it for the last one. Let's see what happens when I put a fair gloss on this. Oh, much prettier. This gloss, chef's kiss. It's just great. Okay, so we're gonna go with Velvet Blush Lightly next. I am going to grab the blush with blush liner from Eldridge. Okay, and this is Velvet Blush Lightly. Velvet Blush Lightly. And I'll put on the studio light just so you can see. So that's Velvet Blush Lightly in studio lighting. So pretty. I actually don't know if I like the regular blush or the Blush Lightly now. I think they're both really beautiful. Why don't I do a really quick swatch? Velvet Blush Lightly. And this is Velvet Blush. Blush Lightly, Velvet Blush. Here's the gloss, blush gloss embrace. And I'll swatch it next underneath both so you can see. Okay, and then I'm gonna put that gloss right over. Blush Lightly and the gloss. Okay, this is natural light without the studio light. Okay, so I'm back with the studio lighting again because it got dark again. So sorry for the inconsistencies and thanks for your patience on this video with the lighting. I'm finished with the lipstick swatches. And if you're interested in seeing Cinnabar, which was the 4th new velvet lipstick that was released, I'll tag my first video up here, and then you can see how Velvet, Cinnabar, the gloss, and the liner wore. So it's been about maybe an hour of medium 19, and this is what it looks like before I'm going to set it down with powder. So if you don't want to set it down, you don't have to, and I could just probably be fine with just doing this because I think it's beautiful. It really does set down by itself. It's almost blurring. Do you see that? So again, it's not going to hide any acne or hyperpigmentation, but what it is, it's almost like a soft blur effect, but it's not matte. And there's, you can see some shine. My natural oils are coming through. So what I'm going to do is go into my Sicily powder and just kind of lightly tap down the areas that get oily for me. And what the light powder will do is it'll make it easier for me to put some last, some other addition. It'll enable me to put the other face products on without it sticking to the foundation. So yes, it's definitely more smooth, but I don't want to put too much because it might affect the actual color of the foundation. So far it's looking pretty good. So that's the final look. I'll get in close so you can see. So I used the same exact products I used yesterday, but with using 17 and 18 on my face. I'm using shade 19. And so I actually think this might be the best one. The other one looked a little bit too light. And I think what happens is that it's since the foundation is self-setting, I think it almost settled down a little bit flatter and lighter than my skin tone. Whereas this one, since it's neutral, as it settled down, it was, and I added the actual product I use, it actually is more true to my skin tone. So I'm gonna get up close so you can see compared to my neck and my upper chest area. I think 19 might be the better choice, especially after putting the makeup that I use. And so I tried to put my holy grail face products on just so I could really see in real life what it would look like. So again, Tom Ford bronzer, Pat McGrath Electric Bloom blush up here, Joy of Chantecaille. I have an eyeshadow look up that you can check out above here, and then blush lightly here. So, and I didn't powder it anymore. I just lightly powdered it before makeup application with the Sisley Matte 2. So that's how it's wearing. And then I'll ping below after a wear test how it's doing. And then I'll just do a shout out to Sunkissed Panay for these earrings. I'm trying to wear these almost every day the rest of the month of October. October in the States is Filipino American History Month. And these are based off of the sun, which is really part of the flag of part of our, you know, our pride of the motherland. So these are made by a small business, Filipino owned, and I'll tag it below. These are quickly becoming my favorite earrings. So far, I really like 19 so far. And so I can't do, what's gonna be different from this video and the other video is that I'm using primarily studio lighting versus natural lighting. So that's a little bit different, but I'll turn it off so you can see. And it looks great even just with like the overcast natural lighting too. No highlighter used today. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back on. Okay, so that's it for the rest of the Lisa Eldridge Velvet Lipstick haul for fall 2021. Thanks for joining me. And again, I would love to have you part as the Mickey Carr Beauty fam. So please consider subscribing, commenting below, liking and sharing with your friends. And always be kind to yourself, others, and then always be you. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.